The reason why I'm here is very simple. Close to a month now, our environment in our area has been polluted. My concern about this pollution, this oil spill pollution that is going on, is that the response from the people that manages the facility. For 3 weeks, gas has been flaring. Fire has been on. No response. No quick response. Initially, it was just gas. After 3 weeks, close to a month, when they came trying to stop the gas, fire incident happened again. Up to now, as I'm talking to you, the fire is still on. As I'm also talking to you, Krakram again, fire is on. As we are speaking right now, Alakri, well line, his fire is still on. So I feel these their facilities is up to date, that they will come and start putting them in good conditions. This is typically equipment failure. Some people will say it's my youth, but I am saying categorically, I'm in the village. I'm there in December when this incident happened. It's typically equipment failure. The equipment needs servicing. Which company is that? The facility is OLM 18. OLM 18. But I will not, I don't really know whether it's Red Cross or any other company that is managing it. But as a community person, that facility is there. Buguma Wellhead is what they call it in their map. And as I'm speaking to you now, even our son that is in charge of energy is going around to check the facilities. This is typically equipment failure. And it has damaged a lot of things in our community. So we are pleading. Aquatic lives have been damaged. Even some of our boats that we are using to go to fishing and all that, if you look at it, there's no way to even use them again. Our water is being polluted. We don't have any sort of livelihood. We are just water people. We are riverine people. That's why our mothers, our fathers go to fishing, go to Prevenco, go to bush to bring animals and fishes for them to sell so that they will earn a living. Even that noise that gas is making, if you are here in the morning, early hours, our elderly women, 80-something, 70-something, they are complaining. Most of them are having PP. We are pleading the government to invite the necessary agencies for JIV and all that so that they can stop this thing before we now talk of the damage. This is typically a matter of their equipment. And in trying to come to stop the gas.
That's life. Oh. That is life in that part of Nigeria. See those ones? Before they were born, people from that part of Nigeria, they have been complaining. Under Abacha, yeah, this was like 30 years ago. The situation was the same. But rather than the government to be on the side of the people, because they are tax collectors, they will be on the side of the oil companies. When there are spillages from the equipment of these oil companies, the villagers will be blamed. The government that was supposed to be more concerned about their environment, about the people, they will be on the side of the oil companies. The leaders of the communities who knows what their people are facing, when they join and begin to complain, once the government and the oil companies call them and give them some money, they will bury it and then they will just have to live with it. This is the life of the people in that part of Nigeria. In America, or even here in Europe, if you're operating a company, they will tell you, you cannot contaminate the environment. If you dare, they will find you. They will find you with, millions of dollars or millions of euros or millions of pounds. If you get any single drop of oil on the ground where you have been warned not to, if there's any leak from any facility in America and you contaminate the land, you will think that person has slaughtered people. The way the government will come for that company. They will even call them to the capital to go and do inquiry. You get that? But in Nigeria, they get away with them. To the point that, did you see the environment? Did you see that thing where you see that black thing here? Let me show you again. That is not, there's no more though. It's no more though. It's not poto. Now crude oil.
Nothing will they see for this river again.
See that thing behind that guy?
Nothing will they see for this river again because of the oil spillage. The oil don't spoil everything.
That is not terraform. That is not poto. That is not modo. That is crude oil. If you go to some of these communities, they have gas flaring. You know what is gas flaring? Gas, we say they don't feel contain. And it's just there. Just zzz, or burning. They have burning fire that has been burning for more than 40, 50 years before I was born in Niger Delta of Nigeria. Yeah. There are communities where you see gas flaring. Gas has been burning fire there for over 40, 50 years. But what every successive government in Nigeria has been interested in is how much money they can make or collect from these oil companies. That's it. Make the people learn how to live with that. So you see them, they will budget. They will say, okay, this budget of 2024, we are planning to sell crude oil at $90 per barrel, $100 per barrel, $1 per barrel. With this Donald Trump's executive order, brethren, you know what is called recession? Recession, where everything will just dry up financially. Nigeria is about to face it. Yeah, maybe they would have China to buy their crude oil. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not the only country that supplies crude oil to China. So if what America buys from Nigeria, it is not as if the money they actually got from the ones that America has been buying ever reaches any of you before. You can't release, can anybody here tell me how much NNPC remitted from the sale of crude oil between January and March 2024? Raise up your hand. Do you know? Do you? In all sincerity, if you do, please share with us. You can even put it in the comments and tell us how much NNPC remitted from the sale of crude oil, Nigeria crude oil. Okay, let's make it 6 months. Between January 2024 and then June 2024, 6 months. How much? Do you have an idea? Nobody does. Nobody has an idea because there is no evidence of how much they remitted. But if you want to know how much Nigeria borrowed between January 2024 and then June 2024, I have an idea. I do. Starting from September 2023, Tifnumbu and his gang, they went to a place called Afrexim Bank, Africa Export and Import Bank. It's called Afrexim. They went there to go and borrow 3.3 billion. They gave them 2 billion in September. And by September 2023, by the February 2024, they gave them the balance of $1.3 billion. And they used 197 million barrel of crude oil as collateral. Yeah, I remember that. 197 97 million barrels of crude oil as collateral if Nigeria doesn't pay back that money, doesn't pay that money back in 5 years, and that is 2028. So by 2028, if Nigeria doesn't pay back the $3.3 billion plus the interest, which is, what is the 40% of that, by the way? I think we calculated the 1.2. That's like 4.5. Nigeria has to pay back $4.5 billion by 2028. But they don't have any plan of paying back. There's no plan of paying back. And that is why the Afrexim Bank, that is currently taking nearly 200 million barrels of crude oil from Nigeria, from the money they gave to Bokwari. We don't even know what Bokwari used the money for. Did you? Did you know what they use the money for? Because that same Afrexim Bank, right, is currently taking over 200 million barrels of crude oil from Nigeria as the payback for the loan they gave to Bokwari. Yes, that is why. Despite the fact that Tinubu said they should go and give Dangote crude oil, teaspoonful of crude oil they can't give to Dangote. They were supposed to be giving Dangote, they were supposed to be giving him 200,000 barrels of crude oil every day. Yeah, Dangote was supposed to be getting somewhere around, he was supposed to be getting like about 5 million barrels of crude oil, I think. About 5 million barrels every month. That's what Dangote was supposed to be getting upon the completion of his refinery. The reason why Nigeria have no crude oil, because let's slow it down so that you understand this very well. Okay? Nigeria doesn't extract our own crude oil. They just sell the license to the international oil companies. And then Nigeria will take 40% of that money, not even half. So the arrangement was that Nigeria will collect 40% of the crude oil, of the money made, the proceed of the extracted crude oil. So if the oil companies are extracting, for example, 1.5 million barrels every day, 40% of that comes to Nigeria. Then Nigeria will also tax them, because the arrangement is that whatever money these oil companies make, Nigeria will then tax them. I think it's about 3% or 4% again, which is going to be based on their own, what they make. This is the two revenue that Nigeria make from crude oil. Nigeria doesn't have any machine, doesn't have any drilling machine to drill anything, their own crude oil. They just sell the license to these oil companies. Okay? However, in that same arrangement, all the oil companies, they will give Nigeria 350,000 barrels of crude oil every day, because Nigeria believed to have their own refineries. Nigeria's refineries were working at over 56% before APC, Ebekebe, took over power in 2015. I know you probably don't remember that anymore, but I will remind you. Nigeria's refineries were working at over 56% before APC took over. And immediately APC took over, they declared all the refineries dead. Since their refineries are dead, that automatically means the 350,000 barrels of crude oil that they are entitled to from the oil companies would not be refined locally. So what did the Bokwari and his gang, what did they do? They used it as a collateral to take a certain loan from the Afrexim Bank that nobody knows what they use the money for, or what's the total amount of that loan. We don't know. But the only thing we shall know is that because of that deal with Afrexim Bank, it is now the Afrexim Bank that is now collecting the 350,000 barrels of crude oil that was supposed to go to Nigerian refineries. It's now going to them. So what they do is that they just sell them at the international markets to recoup their money that they gave to Bokwari Till now, nobody knows how much is that money. Nobody knows how much of the crude oil they have collected so far and how much is left. Nobody knows. So when they were doing all this media nonsense that they will give Dangote Refinery crude oil, I came here and said it's a lie. There's no crude oil to give him. And that's why they staged another propaganda by telling you that, oh, refineries is working now. But the pipeline that was supposed to supply the crude oil to Port Harcourt Refinery is broken. It's not repaired. So does that mean that they put the crude oil inside tanker and take it to the refinery to refine it? Now they said the refineries don't refine petroleum products, only diesel and kerosene. About his crude oil. Crude oil should be refining all of this. Crude oil has all of this. A working refinery should be refining all of these products. Which kind of refinery be this one? We know they refine their petrol. They have to import that from Malta. Scam, fraud. So right now, the collateral that we are now aware of is the one they have promised Afrexim Bank again, 197 million barrel of crude oil for $4.5 billion loan. Yet we don't have an idea how much the NNPC is making from selling Nigerian crude oil. Their 40% royalty. We don't know. I don't know. Do you? Do you? Because I don't. And if you do, I will be I don't know everything. And I don't want to pretend that I do. I will be appreciated if you can send me to any direction of, Maya, go and check this link. This particular link explains everything. This is how much NNPC has been remitting to Nigeria. I'll be glad if you can show me that. Tifnumbu and his gang, they have collected over $8 billion so far from the IMF and World Bank. And that is why, in 2023, when he said he floated Nigerian Naira, the Nigerian Naira that is now floating up and down now, a trashy tissue paper, worthless paper that has no value, all because of an IMF loan. In a space of 20 months, Tifnumbu has printed over 25 trillion naira on the ways and means. Ways and means is the money borrowed the government by the loan to the government by the Central Bank of Nigeria. They have broken the law on that front. They've broken the law many times. The law says, right, that the Central Bank of the country is allowed to provide 5%. It said 5% of the total budget figure. 5%, not even 10 or 5%. So if you are running a deficit, in this instance, they are running a deficit of over 15 trillion naira. In this, their 2025 budget, 15 trillion naira deficit. Now, from that 15 trillion deficit, right, the central bank was supposed to only give Tifnumbu 5%. When you go and check how much Tifnumbu has, the money they have given to Tifnumbu's regime by the Central Bank of Nigeria, it is more than 50%. They've broken the law in that regard. So no wonder they want the Ogoni people to name their price. They need those oil blocks in that axis to balance things up, because according to them, they want to be producing 2 million barrels a day. And the 2 million barrels, it's only 40% they will collect. Oil producing country, my yansh. Prince Jejeman. Apologies to Prince Jejeman. Oil producing country. If you go to Saudi Arabia, they own almost the entire equity of the oil industry. Almost everything. You will see the Saudis working hand in hand, next in hand, hand in hand with the Americans. Saudis, over 85% of them, they are those who control the oil industry. The Saudis, if you go to the Qatar, if you go to the UAE, over 85% of them, they control the equity there. In Nigeria, we control nothing. We are just rent seekers. These criminals are just rent seekers. They will give the license to Mayegu. Mayegu will give the license to his friends from across the world. As long as they are giving me my own little share, I don't have to be there. Because it doesn't concern me. So if they now say that the people of Ogoni, their water is polluted, their land is polluted, this and that, it doesn't concern me. As long as they are remitting my own money into my Swiss account, it doesn't concern me with Ogoni. I'm not from Ogoni, so it doesn't concern me with Ogoni. That's Nigeria. So now everybody go take the heat now with this Donald Trump. What do you call it? With this Donald Trump's executive order, America first, America first. So what that simply means is that the oil prices, what have you, it's going to crash. Yeah, it's going to crash. So it's going to be peace in the Middle East. People are already projecting that. And you know, the only way that Nigeria could have used the advantage, which is in itself really is not really, you know, it's not really good. But they say if somebody else's own no spoil, another person will no go better. But when the Nigerian system was, the Nigerian criminals were supposed to take advantage of all these things, they never used the advantage for you. They were using the money to buy themselves cars, to increase their salaries, to travel all over the world, bringing back nothing. Now you are about to start the fasting and prayer. Where Adeboye say make you fast and pray. We fast and pray. Fasting and prayer. PD. Even though I wait to bow and learn anyway, so what's the point? So they say in Yoruba that I wait to bow and learn, you know, there's already fasting and prayer. Anyway, people are already fasting. I mean 001, 101. Yeah. So you're about to feel it. And they're about to borrow more. Yeah, they will go borrowing so that the rest of the country can go sorrowing. They won't tell you that now, don't worry. Yeah? All the other funding that they get from these different organizations, World Food Program, World Health Program, climate change, all this cheap money, they are going to dwindle and dwindle. See, the dwindle, so the way they will dwindle is going to be so fast that you feel it. If you go to some of the communities in Nigeria, you will see that the NGOs, foreign NGOs, they are those who are carrying out different kind of, you know, health, what do you call it, outreaches and all of that, outreach, medical outreach. When you see those who have become the victims of the terrorism in Nigeria, women, children, they will tell you how much of the support they have received from the contraptions, you know, ruiners. So those who are like the foreign bodies who come in to give them support medically, and all of that will disappear soon. I mean, shouldn't really be, you know, a big but yeah, it will all dry up. Shit is about to hit the fan. Like seriously. So how this is going to now end, I may project or predict, but I mean, I don't know. Because there's no plan. There's nothing saved for the raining day. Nothing. I believe that the sky daddy is, you know, it's going to possibly come to your aid. That is not how it works. So when they tell you that when America sneezes, the rest of the world catches cold, this is what it means. The criminals in Nigeria are about to feel it. And you, they are enablers too. You know? So maybe we can now possibly have, I'm not banking on that one, okay? Maybe we can have a chance when Donald Trump, this same Donald Trump, will release all the files of Tifnubu. Remember, Tifnubu said that if they release this file, it will have hey, there's actually the word he used. That it was going to have some, is it catastrophic, be like a consequential, something like that. Right? So on the brighter side, you know, maybe because you see, Donald Trump's chief of staff right now, who is happened to be a very good friend of the IPOB. I don't know if the relationship is still there, and I really do wish it is. So that somebody is going to be saying it to his, you know, to his left ear. You know, like say to JT. Nigeria has been captured.